Evening tour of Kingdom of Dreams, the ultimate entertainment and leisure destination, sprawling across acres of land. Same-day visit to Saraswati Sugar Yamuna Nagar, 200 kilometers from Delhi. The Bahai House of Worship in New Delhi is popularly known as the Lotus Temple due to its flower-like shape. It was completed in 1986 and serves as the mother temple of the Indian subcontinent. It has won numerous architectural awards and has been featured in hundreds of newspaper and magazine articles. The Qutab Minar, a fine example of early Afghan architecture. Its construction started immediately after the defeat of the last Hindu kingdom in Delhi in 1193 as a symbol of victory. It is surrounded by several other ancient and medieval structures in ruins, collectively known as the Qutab complex. The Red Fort, a 17th-century fort complex, constructed in the walled city of Old Delhi, it dates from the very peak of Mughal power. Built by the Mughal Emperor, Shah Jahan in 1648, it is a grandiose of pomp and power. India Gate is the national monument of India. Situated in the heart of New Delhi, the India Gate was designed by Sir Edwin Lutyens, inspired by the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. It was built in 1931. Originally known as the All India War Memorial, it is a prominent landmark in Delhi and commemorates the 90,000 soldiers of the Indian Army who lost their lives while fighting for the Indian Empire, or more correctly the British Raj, in World War I and the Third Anglo-Afghan War. The Humayun's Tomb. Declared as UNESCO World Heritage Site, it was commissioned in 1562 AD by the Mughal ruler, Humayun's grieving widow. It was the first mature example of Mughal architecture and the first structure to use red sand tone at such a scale. The 26th of February 2023, Sunday. Depart for Agra at 7:30 a.m. Reach hotel in Agra and check in to the hotel. Time to freshen up. Afternoon visit to world-famous Taj Mahal, built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan as a memorial to his wife, Mumtaz Mahal. After her untimely death, Shah Jahan had her mortal remains buried in this mausoleum. And after his own demise, he was placed to rest next to his beloved queen in the same mausoleum. Under the dome, below the ground level, in a dimly lit chamber, lie the mortal remains of Shah Jahan and his beloved Queen Mumtaz, reminding the world of their undying love. Later visit to Agra Fort, within a radius of 3 kilometers, on the banks of the river Yamuna, rises the crescent like Agra Fort. Designed and built by Akbar in 1565 AD, the fort is surrounded by a 70 feet high wall. It houses the beautiful Pearl Mosque and numerous palaces including the Jahangir Mahal, Diwan-i-Khas, Diwan-i-Am, and Moti Masjid. Evening free for leisure. Evening Kalakriti show not far from the Taj Mahal. Kalakriti Cultural and Convention Center is best known as the venue that stages Mohabbat the Taj, a theatrical performance that tells the story of the Taj Mahal's origins. There's also a large shopping emporium filled with jewelry and handicrafts from Agra and across India. Overnight at the hotel.
Agra Jaipur after early morning breakfast, 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. In the afternoon we proceed for half-day city tour of Jaipur. Hawa Mahal is one of the most common and popular tourist attractions in Jaipur. Hawa Mahal was basically used as a veil by the royal women folk to watch the proceedings on the road below. Today it is the one of most visited monuments in Jaipur. The city palace is another beautiful landmark that was built by Kachwa Rajput rulers of Jaipur. The city palace is a classic example of Mughal and Rajput architecture. A part of the palace today is museum that houses a collection of rare manuscripts, weapons, Mughal carpets and costumes, and Mughal and Rajasthani miniatures. Jantar Mantar makes another wonderful site to visit. Built in 1718 by Sawai Jai Singh, Jantar Mantar Observatory is one of the 5 observatories that were built by the king. The observatory was built to study the movement of stars. The observatory is built in stone and marble. Evening dinner at Chowki Dani, around 20 kilometers from the main city of Jaipur. There is a mock village called Chowki Dani, which is a perfect mirror to the Rajasthani culture, food, traditions and heritage. The name Chowki Dani literally translates to Rajasthani culture. Specially designed to attract and introduce tourists to the authentic Rajasthani culture and heritage, the village was set up in 1989 over an area spanning 10 acres. Soon after, by 1994, Chowki Dani gained its own share of fame among the tourists across the world. Overnight at the hotel, the 28th of February 2023, Tuesday, Jaipur tour of Amer Fort and City. After early morning breakfast, morning visit to Amber Fort. With Amber Fort is another famous tourist attraction in Jaipur. The Amber Fort was built by Raja Man Singh in the 16th century and was completed by Sawai Jai Singh in the 18th century.
The fort offers magnificent views of the surrounding area. The fort is a mix of Mughal and Rajput architecture and is built in red stone and white marble. Albert Hall Museum, or the Central Museum, sited amid the gardens of Ram Niwaz Bagh in Jaipur, is one of the oldest museums in the state of Rajasthan. This museum was designed by Colonel Sir Swinton Jacob in 1876 for the purpose of greeting King Edward VII, Prince of Wales, on his visit to India. Taj Mahal is a palace in the middle of the Mansagar Lake in Jaipur city, the capital of the state of Rajasthan, India. The palace and the lake around it were renovated and enlarged in the 18th century by Maharaja Jai Singh II for evening departure transfer to Delhi Airport.